Amid widespread federal layoffs, another questionable claim has emerged from the Trump administration that there are scores of dead or non-existent workers on the payroll. Earlier, our Nancy Cortez, CBS News chief White House correspondent, asked President Trump about veterans specifically as the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, continues implementing sweeping changes.
Mr. President, veterans make up 30% of the federal workforce. Are you tracking how many veterans have been fired so far?
Yes,
and do you want DOGE to avoid letting them go?
And we take good care of our veterans, so we're watching that very carefully, and we hope it's going to be as small a number as possible. But we are having great success in slimming down our government. It's been really very successful, and some took payouts and buyouts, and others took other things, and some people we're finding out don't even exist. We're finding that we have a lot of people that don't exist, that people thought that did. We will be making a statement on that, but we're taking care of our veterans. We love our veterans. We're going to take good care of them.
Rhona Tarrant joins us now. She's the executive editor of CBS News Confirmed. So, Rhona, let's start with the obvious. Is this fact or fiction?
So in short, there's no evidence for this. So Elon Musk actually spoke about this yesterday before that cabinet meeting. So he said it was based on that email that was sent out to federal workers. He said, we kind of got a low response rate. It's possible that some people are dead or they don't exist. Now, there's a very...
He said it was like a pulse check.
It was a pulse check. So there's an obvious explanation for this, and that's that several agencies actually directed employees not to respond. So that is why there was a lower rate of response. But taking it one step further, there are federal laws in place that mandate that these agencies actually have to keep accurate payroll records and have to keep track of their employees. Again, taking it another step further, my team was looking at this and we're like, OK, can we see any evidence of this in the past, if this is a big problem? So the most recent report we could find was from the Government Accountability Office. Now, it looked at 2.1 million federal employees from 2015 to 2019. Now, out of all of these federal employees, they looked at several agencies. They could only find 100 cases where they could substantiate fraud or abuse, but that was not related to people who didn't exist. It was around, for example, like timesheets. So, for example, someone saying that they worked 40 hours a week, but they only worked 20, or they were saying they were going to the office when they actually weren't there. But we couldn't find any evidence of any claim that these people either were dead or didn't exist on the government payrolls.
How does the federal government track its workers, and where then are these claims coming from?
So, I mean, on a very basic level, to get a job in the federal government, you obviously have to go through interviews, you have to do a background check, you have to complete an I-9 where you give all your documentation. So that claim about not existing, that would be very hard to do if you didn't exist. Now, on another level, we looked at that report and we were looking at, is there anything these federal agencies do? There's actually quite a lot. So they mandate things like, in certain agencies, timesheets. So they have to keep track of, like, people have to submit timesheets every week. They also keep track of employees using, like, software and things like that to make sure that these employees are actually working, that they're working the hours they say they work. But in terms of where these are coming from, this is part of a pattern. So remember around the 2020 election, Elon Musk and President Trump made claims about dead people on voter rolls, which were widely debunked. A few weeks ago, we saw these claims about Social Security. There was no evidence to that either. And this is just sort of the latest claim on that, on the federal payroll. We actually asked the White House about this. We asked them, do they have any evidence of it? And they declined to give us any evidence.
Rhona Tarrant, thank you.
Thank you.